Hope you are all good. Alhamdulillah, we have started this 6.1, that is called optics. Now we're gonna learn about this characteristics of the image formation by the plane mirror. Okay, so you know very well about that plane mirror. Look at the picture. So we have that plane mirror here. Okay, so mirror which is on the back side, it should be on polished surface. Okay, so when the image is formed or images fall on the mirror, it should be on reflection, it will be reflected. Look at this one. The incident eye will be called as the incident angle, and this one is reflecting angle. Okay, when an object is on the plane mirror, the same ray appears to the original from the beginning of the mirror. Okay, now the characteristics of the plane mirror. Okay, the image formation of the plane mirror. The image formed by the plane mirror is virtual, erect, and laterally inverted. Okay, the size of the image is equal to the size of the object. Okay, note it down. The size of the image is equal to the size of the object. The image distance is far behind the mirror equal to the object distance in front of it. Okay, how much of distance is here? Same, the image will be formed on the behind the mirror. Okay, same image distance. Okay, look at the distance. D naught is the distance of the object and di is the distance of the image. It should be on same. Next one. If an object is placed between the two plane mirror inclined at an angle theta, then the number of image n formed is as 360 by theta. Okay, 360 by theta even. If it is even, then 360 by theta minus 1. If it is odd, then 360 by theta minus 1 for the symmetrically. Okay, so unsymmetrically it means odd, then 360 by theta. Okay, real and virtual image by the plane mirror. When the real object is placed at the point O in front of the plane mirror, it produces divergent rays. Okay, so remember this divergent ray. So divergent rays is nothing but like that. Okay, this is how the divergent ray will be. Okay, what is meant by convergent ray? The convergent rays will be like that. Okay, it will be goes like that. Now, when the real object is placed at the point O in front of the plane mirror, it produces the divergent rays in all direction. It produces the divergent rays in all direction as shown in figure. After reflection from the plane mirror, they appear to come out from the point I behind the mirror. This image cannot be formed on the screen as the image behind the mirror. This type of image which cannot be formed, note it down. This type of image which cannot be formed on the screen but can only be seen with the eyes is called virtual image. It is called virtual image. On the other hand, if convergent rays, what is mean by convergent? All the rays will be goes and meet together. This is called convergent rays. Okay. So on the other hand, the convergent rays are incident on the plane mirror. The rays after reflection passing through the point I front of the image. This type of image can be formed on the screen and also can seen with the eyes. It is called real image. Okay, so look at the picture. The real object, it is the convergent divergent rays. The virtual image will be produced here. Virtual image will be produced here. Okay, same here. It is a real image. The virtual object will be there. It is a convergent. It is a convergent. Okay, so now note it down. Note, it is generally known that is the plane mirror can only form the virtual image. But now we have to understand that the plane mirror can form the real image when converging rays falls on it. Okay. So what is meant by spherical mirror? So by knowing the spherical mirror, when they have the spherical in shape, okay, when they have the spherical in shape, here we have the two type of mirrors. One is the concave mirror, the other one is convex mirror. Okay, the concave mirror is nothing but inner reflective. When you're taking the spoon, okay, when you're taking the spoon, the inner reflective, it is called concave. It is called concave. Okay, the outer reflecting, it is called convex. Outer reflecting is called convex. Okay, so when this one, we have to understand all those things. Okay, what is mean by pole and what is mean by radius of the curvature, all those things we should know. Okay, listen first. The radius of the curvature or center of curvatures. Okay, The center of curvature of the sphere which the mirror, see, this is the center of curvature, okay. So center of curvature of the sphere in which the mirror is part, it's called center of curvature of the mirror. Radius of the curvature, okay. The radius of the sphere which the spherical mirror is the part, it is called the radius of the curvature of the mirror. Pole, what is meant by pole? The middle point on the spherical surface of the mirror or geometrical center of the mirror is called pole of the mirror. Principal axis, the line joining pole and the center of curvature is called the principal axis. Now we have the mirror, the line joining curve, the pole and the center of curvature, this is the center of curvature, that it is called principal axis. It is called principal axis. The light ray traveling along the principal axis towards the mirror after reflection travels back along the same principal axis. It is also called optical axis. Also called optical axis. Okay. Focus or focal point. Light rays traveling parallel and close to the principal axis. Light rays are traveling parallel and close to the principal axis when incident on the spherical mirror. Converge at the point for the concave mirror or appear to diverge from the point for the convex mirror. Okay, look, noted this one also. The principal axis when incident on the plane converge for the concave mirror, diverge from the point of convex mirror. Okay, converge from the concave mirror, diverge from the point convex mirror. Okay, the point is called the focus point or focal point. What is my focal length? The distance between the pole and the focus is called the focal length. Okay, the distance between the pole and the focus length is called the focal length, focal plane. So look at the picture. This is called center of curvature. The geometrical center is called pole. This is the focal point. So the distance between the pole and the focus is called the focal length, and the distance between the pole and the center of curvature is called radius of the curvature. Okay, what is meant by marginal rays? Whenever there is the rays which is closer to each other or close to the principal axis, then it is called paraxial rays. When it is far away from the principal axis, then it is called marginal rays. Okay, so that's also important 2 mark question. Paraxial rays, the rays traveling very close to the principal axis and make small angles with it are called paraxial rays. Okay, the rays are traveling far away from the principal axis and they are far away from the pole, it is called the marginal rays. Okay, what is the relation between F and R? What is the relation between radius of the curvature and F? First, we have to take the consider as a angles tan I. Okay, let's see with the center of curvature of the mirror. Consider the rays are parallel to the principal axis. Okay, so we have the mirror like that. Okay, on the next page we have the mirror. Okay, C is called the radius of curvature. This is the focal point. Okay, then this is the pole, center of the curvature for the concave mirror. First, the rays falls on the mirror and incident on the mirror, the rays very close to the paraxial or marginal rays, whatever may be. Okay, is incident on the mirror and reflecting back to the focal point. Okay, this is called incident angle. This is called incident angle. Now we have to take this MP. Okay, MPC is that angle. MPC is a incident angle. MPF is called 2i. 2i is of the incident angle. Okay, now we have to take this one. Let's see with the center of curvature of the mirror. Consider the light ray parallel to the principal axis incident on the mirror. Okay, so mirror is look like that. This is the principal axis P and this is the rays falls on the mirror. At M passes through the principal focus. This passes through the principal focus F, and geometric reflections incident angle is shown in figure. Let I be the reflection and everything will be there. If MP is the perpendicular to from the M and the principal axis, then from the geometry, the angles MCP equal to I, angle MFP will be equal to 2I. Okay, now we have to take the triangles, right angle triangles MCP and MIP. Tan I we have to take. Tan I, what is the tan I? Opposite by adjacent. So opposite, what is it? Opposite side PM, adjacent PC. Then tan 2I, what is the tan 2I? Same, opposite by adjacent. Opposite PM, adjacent PF. The angles are very small. So tan I we can consider as I. So I equal to PM by PC. then 2i equal to pm by pf. Then we can write twice of that pm by pc, twice of the pm by pc equal to pm by pf. Pm will be cancel each other, then 2pf will be equal to pc, 2pm will be equal to pc. Now we can write, so what is the pm? The pm is nothing but your length, okay, length, focus point, focal point, twice of the length. So if the pf is the focal length f and pc is the radius of the curvature, then 2f will be equal to r, then f equal to r by 2. So from here the focal length is half of the radius of curvature, half of the radius of the curvature. Okay, the next one thing, so this one is important 3-mark question, 3-mark question. Okay, half of the radius of curvature, image formation in spherical mirrors. Okay, what are the images will be formed in the spherical mirror? The image can be located by the graphical construction. To locate the point of an image, the minimum two rays must be meet at the point. We can use at least any two of the points. Okay, look at the pictures, any two rays should be meet at the point. A ray parallel to the principal axis after reflection will pass through or appear to pass through the principal focus, the first one. The second one, the ray passing through or appear to the pass through the principal focus after reflection will travel back to the principal axis, will travel parallel to back to the principal axis, then passes like that. Okay, next one thing, the ray passing through the center of curvature and retraces the path is after reflection, after reflection, as in case of normal incidence. Okay, a ray traveling falling on the pole will get reflected as per reflections. Look at the picture, falling on the pole and get reflection on the principal axis. Okay, reflected as per law of reflection, keep principal axis as a normal. Now we have to take the Cartesian sign convention. What are the Cartesian sign convention? You have to take the x-axis, y-axis. Okay, this one is called positive y-axis, this one called negative y-axis, this one we called as positive x-axis, this one called negative x-axis. Okay, so like that we have to take, when you have, whenever the rays are passing through that, whenever the image formation will be happen, what the image we have to take, whether it's a positive or whether it's a negative, with the Cartesian sign convention only we have to take that. Incident light taken from the left to right, the first point. Okay, look at the first point, incident light is taken from the left to right, the object of the left of the mirror. Okay, all the distance are measured from the pole of the mirror. Okay, from the pole of the mirror only we have to measure all the images and then distances. The distance measured to the right of the pole along the principal axis are taken as positive. Okay, after the right side of the pole taken as positive. The distance measured in the left of the pole taken as the negative. So this one, left of the pole we have to take it as negative, left of the pole we have to take it as negative. Height measured in the upward perpendicular direction to the principal axis taken as positive. Okay, so pole upper perpendicular direction is called positive, lower it's called negative, this one is positive and this one is negative. Okay, so height measured in the downward perpendicular direction to the principal axis is taken as negative, Okay, so this one is negative, that one is positive, and incident light. Okay, the mirror equation will teach you on the board. Okay, so what is the meaning of the lateral magnification? Lateral magnification is the zooming level. Okay, note, the students are advised to refresh themselves with the image tracing for the concave and convex mirrors for various predetermined position of the object, and then position of the image, nature of image, etc. The mirror equations of formula 1 by v plus 1 by u equal to 1 by f. Okay, remember that mirror equation formula, 1 by f focal equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u, 1 by v plus 1 by u. I'll teach you on the board. Okay, speed of light. Okay, we know that very well. Okay, how they are measuring that speed of light? The speed of light is nothing but how the light travels in the vacuum with the highest speed. Okay, light travels with the highest speed in vacuum. The speed of light in the vacuum, we know that 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. It is a very high value. Several attempts were made by scientists to determine the speed of the light. The earliest attempts were made by French scientist Hippolyte Fizeau. Okay, in 1819 to 1986 he was there, and that purred away from the other side to determine the speed of light. How they are determine the speed of light? Okay, Fias method. Okay, apparatus. What is the apparatus used to measure the speed of light? The apparatus used by the Fias by determining the speed of light in the air is shown in figure. So see, look at the picture 6.13. This is the Fias method. Okay. The light is the source which is in the hand here, which is fall on the partially silvered glass plate, which is made of 45-degree angle. When the light source falls on that, it will be reflected in this direction. It will goes in the direction with the sharp toothed wheel, through that sharp toothed wheel, and the mirror which is placed after 35 kilometer, it will be fall on that and reflected back to that same path and to the toothed wheel, and then observer will seen from that. The tooth slot, look at the tooth slot. Whenever the theta is 90, there will be a no reflection. When there is a theta is in 0, then through this they can go. Okay, through this tooth slot the light will be passing. Okay, so how it's work? Okay, the apparatus used by the Fias for determining the speed of light in the air shown in figure. The light from the source S was first allowed to fall on the partially silvered glass plate kept at an angle of 45-degree to the incident light from the source. The light then was allowed to pass through the rotating tooth wheel with an N teeth and N cuts equal with this whose speed of rotation could be varied through the external mechanism. Okay, so what will happen if this expression for this working, how it's happening there? Working, the angular speed of the rotation of the tooth wheel was increased from the 0 to value of omega. Whenever the angular frequency was increased from 0 to pi by 2 and 0 to pi by 2, 1 pi by 2 to 2 pi by 2, it will be 0 to omega, okay, like angular frequency or angular velocity, until the light passing through the one cut would completely be blocked by the adjacent tool. This is ensured by the disappearance of light while looking through the partial silver glass plate. Expression. So we know that the speed of the light in the air v equal to distance per time. So here the light travels through the twice of the distance, so 2d by t. The distance d known as the value from the arrangement. The time taken t for the light to travel the distance from the to and fro is calculated from the angular speed omega 2 pi f. Okay. So the angular speed omega will be calculated by theta by t. So theta is the angle between the tooth and the slot, which will be rotated and tooth within the time. The total angle of the circle in the radian 2 pi by number of teeth by number of cuts is a n. So pi by n. Okay, from this equation omega equal to theta equal to pi by n. So theta equal to pi by n. So put the values pi by n by t. So pi by n t. So t equal to pi by n omega. So t equal to pi by n omega. So 2d by pi by n omega. So 2d n omega by pi. From here you know the distance d, n number of tooth, and then omega angular velocity, and then pi. The Fias has some difficulty to visually estimate the minimum intensity of the light when blocked by the adjacent tooth. Is I values, okay, is the value close to that. The value is very close to that Fias method of idea. That is called is nothing but your sophisticated instrument, but the speed of light in the air was determined 2.99792 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Okay, so look at that one. After the disappearance of light for the first time while increasing the speed of rotation of the tooth wheel from 0 to omega, and further increase of speed of rotation of the wheel to omega, the light would appear again due to the passing of reflector light through the next slot. So for every odd value of omega, light will disappear, and for every even value omega, light will appear here. Okay, look at that one. For odd value, that will be disappear. For the even value, that will be appear here. Speed of light through the different media. Okay, this was discovered by the Foucault. First, different transparent media like glass, water, etc. were introduced in the path of the light by scientists like Foucault and Michelson-Morley, and to find the speed of light in the different media. Even evacuated glass tubes were also introduced the path of light to find the speed of light in the vacuum. It was found the light travels with a lesser speed in any medium than it's in the speed in the vacuum. So in the vacuum it is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, but when it is enter into the medium, the speed of the light will be decreases. Okay, so hereafter only the refractive index came to play. The what is mean by refractive index? The refractive index of the transparent medium is defined as the ratio of the speed of light in the vacuum to the speed of light in that medium. Okay, so look at that, this was very important. Okay, refractive index is nothing but speed of light in the vacuum to the speed of light in the medium. C is the speed of light in the vacuum, then V is the speed of light in the medium, then N equal to, N is called refractive index, then it is will be equal to N equal to C by V. So there is a no unit, okay, because both are the speed, so meter per seconds will be cancel each other, so there is a no unit for this one. This is a 2 mark question. Refractive index of the different media. Look at the table, there is a they are given lot of things. Okay, vacuum refractive index is the 1.001, and that means 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Okay, water, look at the pure water, 1.33 is very important. And for sapphire and zircon, which is have the highest to refractive index, it's a diamond 2.42, and the gallium phosphate is 3.50. Okay, mostly we are using the 2.42. We know the diamond, how the diamonds are looking very glittering or very dazzling colors because of this speed of light. Okay, because the refractive index is higher than that one, everything. So whenever the light is entered into the diamond, the speed is very much lesser than the speed of light, so it is not possible to escape from that diamond. Okay, that's why it's looking like a total, is making total internal reflection. Optical path, what is mean by optical path? Okay, optical path of the medium defined as a distance d dash travels in the vacuum in the same time it travels in the distance d in the medium. Okay, there is 2 cases. One of the cases, light travels through that one. Here I have the medium. Here we can take the time travels. Okay, 5 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds. How much of distance is travel in the 5 seconds? Same. How much of distance is travel in the medium in the same 5 seconds? Okay, this is called the optical path. Okay, so let us consider the medium V equal to d by dt. So T equal to d by V. The same time. So look at the picture. D, the medium of the refractive index N. Vacuum of the refractive index is the d dash equal to n times of d. Okay, whenever the light travels in the medium, it will be n times greater than the normal one. N times greater than the normal one. D dash equal to nd. N is always greater than 1. Optical part d dash of the medium is always greater than that d. Okay, so this is enough for you now. We'll teach you on the reflection on the next week, guys. Okay, on the next class, inshallah. Okay, thank you guys. Allah Hafiz.